everyone, welcome back to my channel, Abby Loves Novels. This is my second book on YouTube. My first video went up yesterday, and I got an overwhelming amount of just response, lots of nice comments, lots of, just lots of support, and I honestly didn't really expect that much support, as sad as it is to say. Booktube, again, as I said in my last video, it is a huge community, and it's just nice to know that there's always room for one more. Today I wanted to do a book review video based on the new Hunger Games novel, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Now I had lent this book out to someone and I've just gotten it back, and I'm hoping that it can stay in my clutches for a little bit longer, only because this book was iconic. It was very expensive, and I kind of had a problem with lending books out to people. Unfortunately, not everyone values books as much as I do, or as much as people who read a lot do. So I have lended quite a few books out and they've came back damaged, or I just never got them back at all. So I'm always very wary when it comes to lending books out. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So I do want to do a review on this book only because it is such a controversial book at this point in booktube, and just anyone who has read the previous Hunger Games trilogy, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, it was such an iconic, amazing trilogy in its time, and it's kind of what kicked off dystopian and young adult novels personally for me. And of course there were movies based off of it. They were great. Unfortunately, they were not as good as the books, but that usually is the case. I did want to talk about this though because I want to give my thoughts. I read this a little bit ago. I kind of held it off for a little bit only because I was so nervous because of all the attention it was getting, both negative and positive. But I absolutely adored it. So I was one of the few people that actually really enjoyed it. I thought that her writing has improved. Suzanne Collins' writing has improved greatly since her last novel. I felt like this kind of was more darker as compared to her original trilogy, which I personally enjoyed. It kind of read more like an adult novel as compared to a young adult novel. So if you're okay, with darker themes, definitely pick it up. There are some things I just kind of want to put in as a trigger warning. So there is cannibalism in this book. Not really a spoiler, but just something that you should be aware of if you plan to get into the book. There's not really much else that would be, a huge trigger in this book, I don't think. Definitely a trigger warning for poverty, but no, I definitely loved it. So reading about Choreo, I can't say his name, I always mess up, so we're just gonna say Snow. So reading about Snow and kind of his descent into darkness and villainy was absolutely fantastic. We start off by reading about his family. So in this book he is 18 years old, so we kind of go into his family, how he was raised, sorry, that's my bird, and kind of how he became the person that he is today. This starts off with the 10th annual Hunger Games. The school that he goes to decided to do mentors in the Hunger Games. So that's just people who, kind of are enrolled in the school, and they want to become part of the Hunger Games by mentoring the tributes, which is absolutely such a crazy idea. So they kind of get really involved in it. Sorry, my bird. So they kind of get really involved into the tributes' lives, and then they kind of come up with these crazy ideas for what the arena should be like, and I just thought that it was absolutely so cool just to see that type of interaction between tribute and mentor. Unfortunately, the lines can get very blurred, and in this book it does. Snow ends up getting a tribute from the 12th district, much like our fave, Katniss Everdeen, and it kind of shows how entwined their lives become, as he kind of battles with the issue of morality, the issue with, fame, being recognized in his school, and then of course the issue with love. So I thought this was fantastic. Again, there was so much controversy, but I definitely think it is worth a read. Again, her writing has improved so much since the original trilogy. I'm so excited to read what comes next from her. I want to also get into something as well. So he kind of like struggles again with his morality, with his desire, who he wants to be as a person. You know, he kind of has influences all around, so get good influences, bad influences. He just has to figure out where he, you know, stands, and of course we know where he stands reading the original trilogy. But it's so nice to get into his mind. I still think he's an absolute awful person, but I don't think anyone is just, you know, good or evil, and this book definitely shows that. You get to meet Lucy, and Lucy is the 12th district tribute, and she is absolute fire. Honestly, I preferred her to Katniss Everdeen. So you get to meet how, you know, fire she is, how you know, her personality is unlike anything I've ever read, and Snow, you know, realizes that. So he kind of becomes, you know, conflicted on his duty, and then also conflicted on the way he feels about Lucy. So I don't want to give any more, you know, information. I don't want to spoil it. I do want to definitely say, please pick it up if you have the chance to. If you were a fan of the original trilogy, then you will be an even bigger fan of this novel. So again, thank you so much for watching my video, and I do hope you have a great day.